I'm Mills Lane, and this is Spiritual Thoughts of an Objective Christian. You can find this program on the Mills Lane channel on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, or just get the word that I'm delivering. Today, we would like to focus on what I call the shit theory. So let's I know that's a curse word. It's a cursed word. And some people in the Christian world, I don't think that word should be used. But what I want to focus on is why I called it that. I could have used different terminology, of course. I could have said the poop theory, the doo-doo theory. Went right to the shit because it's part of the terminology. YouTube, I did not decide to go that route to be controversial or whatever. But YouTube, you do what you do. So in this installment of Spiritual Thoughts of an Objective Christian, we talk about what I just said, the shit theory. You go through life. You, as a man, woman, whatever, cis all the way through the gender types of today. You walk upright for the most part, those who can walk, and you're on a path. You have a path that you're trying to navigate and properly get through. But one of the things that we don't talk about a lot is the fact that you're going to encounter things that are annoyances in your journey. Just take an example. Let's just say, for an example, you drive to work. Your commute is 30 minutes. And most of it's highway, most of it's congested highway. You know you have to get up, depending on the season, whether it's the summertime, you can warm your car for 30 seconds. If it's the wintertime, you might have to warm up your car for 10 minutes. But you get up and, you get out there and you drive your car. Hopefully you're following the proper laws. You're wearing your seatbelt. You're not driving aggressively and things of that nature. But if you encounter abnormal traffic where it's kind of crowded for no reason, well, a reason that you're not used to, you're like, I don't usually see this part of the my commute being crowded. What you just did is you stepped in some poop. And you, like I said, you're upright, you're moving along, you're walking through or driving through. You're not expecting to have to negotiate and navigate after you encountered poop on your shoe. The number one most thought about thing is, what do you have to do when you have enter the point where you stepped in poo? When you're walking down the street, you're on a path. That's the objective side. It's your path. You're following it. You're trying to get through. You're doing everything necessary to get this done. When you step in, for the most part, especially if you live in a city and you live around people who are not conscientious of the laws or whatever, you're gonna end up stepping in some dog shit. Okay. You would think, hey, I know better. Because if I was looking down and I saw the dog poop, I wouldn't step into it. Right. So we know when we see the poop, we know, hey, I'm just going to walk around that. And hopefully, whoever owns this property sees it and decides to pick it up. Because whoever owned the dog, they didn't do it. It happens a lot, trust me. I probably walked past some recently, and it's like I really want to know what dog is doing this because he's leaving some big piles. But that's beyond the point. The point I'm trying to get at is I feel as though life is about trying to navigate without stepping in that poop. Because whether you have on new sneakers or old sneakers, new shoes or old shoes, you don't want to step into that. It's just something that it's part of life, Like, okay, dogs. If a dog is in a park and it's considered a dog park, and the owner, is with it, and the dog poops in the dog park, even if they don't clean it up, it's not as bad as the dog just, taking a shit and basically on the ground that we all walk on and it doesn't get cleaned up. So I start looking at life and there's a lot of things that are not being taken care of by people. And I end up considering it dog shit. And you're trying to navigate every day. You get up, you're trying to wash up. If you have these blessings of having the ability to wash up and having the ability to commute to a job, having a job, or owning a business, you're having these blessings. It's out in the world, and in order to get it, you have to navigate through some, excuse the expression, some tough shit. That's where we're at. It becomes the entire life, um, where you can change some type of task into dog feces. Give you an example. Um, you have, say, you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and there's something that you guys have shared and you've talked and communicated, but you decided that this one particular thing, not you've decided, they've decided that it's one particular thing they do not want to discuss. And that, whatever it could be their fear of clowns. I don't know. But the Joker movie comes out and you want to see it, but you have this partner who doesn't want to deal with clowns ever. So you have to carefully figure out a way to walk over that dog shit that is them not wanting to deal with clowns. You have a job and you're at a workplace and you have a boss that's real particular about what you're doing on work time, and you know maybe you like talking about what happened with your favorite team to some of the other fellow coworkers. You don't want to get into a situation where you not doing your job, or I should say the task that you're being paid for at the appropriate time, because your boss's team lost, where that pie of dog shit can expand. So when I look at um, life in general, I equate it to not wanting to step in dog shit. Now, the bad news is you're going to end up stepping in it. And you're going to step in it a lot. And I only say that because you have an idea, and what you're going, your ideas really don't coincide with others' ideas all the time. You're going to make somebody upset. And it's important that you understand, and this has pretty much been an objective point where I use the dog feces as problems that you're going to encounter. And it's not the end, because even if I had on a brand new pair of Jordan 11s, now I really don't wear Jordans, but I do like the 11s. Even if you were wearing those Jordan 11s and you stepped in some dog feces, you can take the shoe off and you can actually clean the shoe of all the feces. See, that's the piece right there. Just because mistakes are made doesn't mean that that's the end. Because you are given another chance, because that feces can be washed away. Just like when people talk about, especially in the Christian world, when you talk about sin, you know, when you give it to God, He can wash the sin away. So you have to understand that piece. Now, for the objective side of it, you can do a better job of navigating through your path. For instance, if you are walking down the street and you see the dog poo and it's kind of close to the neighbor's grass, I guarantee when you walk down that street for the next 5 days, you're going to be walking where your feet are not going to be anywhere near where that dog shit is. That's the growth. That's the rational. Here's the problem. Now, if I'm smart enough, I won't go to that problem anymore. I will have learned that going there is the problem and I must stop. Now, if you happen to make the mistake of stepping in it, then you pray and be thankful that you're given a chance, that it's just stepping in some shit that can be washed away. But that's the life. That's life. You're going to constantly be trying to avoid it. Sometimes you're going to see it. Sometimes you're going to be able to have the leg strength to step over it. But sometimes you're not going to see it. Sometimes it's just going to happen right as you're making your step and you're going to step in it. But you have to understand that it's not the end. And it's not nothing to give up for. It's a way, as long as you have your personal connection, you'll be able to wash it off. Sometimes you may have to get a brand new pair of shoes, because even if you washed it off, it just sits in your body that you stepped in that. And you might just want to buy new shoes altogether and just start over. And that's okay too, as long as you have it. So, this has been another episode of Spiritual Thoughts of an Objective Christian. I'm Mills Lane. If you would like to donate to the program, you can donate to me at Mills Lane ACT as the Cash App, or paypal.me/Mills Lane. And we want to continue these shows. I think this is something that it weighs on my heart a lot. And if I can reach one, then the job is completely correctly done. So peace and blessings to all, and thank you for joining me on Spiritual Thoughts of an Objective Christian.